Okay. Hello, this is Adam with DSL Dropship Lifestyle. And today we're bringing you not one, but two special guests. And they're both partnered up on the 10K challenge, and they're actually the winners of the 10K challenge, having hit 270K in sales during the 10K challenge. So welcome, Zach and his partner, Shawn. How's it going today?
Good. Thanks for having us on.
Good. So just kind of wanted to hear more about your journey. How, I guess this might be a mouthful, so we can come back to some things, but I want to hear your journey finding Dropship Lifestyle, finding your partner, Shawn, and then kind of how y'all work together and the genesis of creating the store.
Sure.
Just kind of in a nutshell, if you don't mind. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, so we both kind of had different paths eventually joining the course. So I joined back 2 years ago. At that point, I had just graduated college and had signed on to work for a company in this year-long rotational program. And right after I graduated, I had a little time off before I started working. So I went on a trip to Thailand for a month and a trip to Europe for a month, which was a blast. Kind of just right when I got back from that trip, I kind of just was looking at my vacation time for my work. It sounds silly, but I just had an amazing time, and traveling in Thailand kind of opened up my eyes to how cheap it can be in other areas of the world. And so I also had a little bit of an interest in e-commerce. So I got back from my trip, somehow came across one of the Dropship Lifestyle ads and pulled the trigger at that point. So I started my first store while I was working my 9-to-5 job, and left back in May just to start full time. I wasn't really doing that well at that point with my store. We can dig into that, but Shawn, I guess, reached out to me. He knew that I was kind of what I was doing and said he was interested. And he came to me with this amazing niche idea, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. I think we can make this one work. And we partnered up back in August. It was late August, and got our store up and running pretty quickly within a month and a half. And we were obviously able to start in the 10K dropship challenge in October. But Shawn has a little bit different path. Can let him share.
Yeah, go ahead, Shawn. Thank you.
Yeah, so Zach and I have been friends for quite a while now. It goes back to the high school days, actually. And so just being friends, I went into school and I was kind of going the traditional 9-to-5 route, getting ready to start a career in insurance, actually. So I went to school for actuarial science and was starting to see that there is a huge potential in that area. But the problem I had with it was you're really tied down to your desk. You're not able to get out much. I did go into insurance. I actually work there now. I still am in my 9-to-5 role. But I kind of wanted something more. That was kind of my motivation. And I read a book. It's actually called it's about how to build long-term wealth. There was just a little brief dialogue in there about forming a drop shipping store, just something extra on the side. And that was really what I had in mind at first. I didn't have any really long-term goals to do this full time. And I got together with Zach one day with a couple of our other friends, and we just started talking about how Zach was starting his first store and how that was going, and started to discuss what that was like. And basically we got into how similar that was to what I was reading about in this book. And I just told him I might be interested. And my original goal was just to have a little extra money coming in, just be able to live the lifestyle I want. And it's kind of taken off from there. Right now, my plans are to I'm kind of in the transition mode. still working the 9 to 5, as I say, but seeming to be lucky enough to be able to go into this full time and kind of making some plans for that. So that's where I'm at now.
Great. No, and obviously you were able to make some things work. So we'll talk about that in a second. And just to let you know, everyone that's tuning in, Zach and Shawn are in the same location. So I don't know if you see, if Shawn turns his
Shawn's taking a work from home today.
Here's Zach in the background around there.
So, if you want to wait
back there.
Yeah, so they're in the same location. So we had to do that to separate and make sure the sound was working fine. So just FYI, if it kind of looks similar and anybody's wondering, kind of scratching your head, that's what's going on. So
working on the store today.
They're mastermind and working on the store together. So just to let you know, also whoever's tuning in, we have a live chat, so whoever has questions, we'll try to get to as many as possible. So put your questions in there, and we'll see what we can do. So Zach and Shawn, if you could tell everybody listening more about, like, how, a little bit more of expound upon how did y'all actually partner up? Like, what was the genesis of you partnering up from, I guess, the beginning to where you're at now, in terms of like, hey, what's your separate roles? How do y'all work together well, strengths and opportunities, things like that?
Yeah. So one thing, I guess, just from starting my first store, I got a good feel for the workflow and different tasks, and I felt I was definitely enjoying the internet marketing side of things and some of the more technical things, but I didn't really enjoy customer service. So I identified that as a good opportunity. If Shawn wanted to get a start in this, I could kind of show him everything, kind of get him just up to speed with things, and also have him kind of handle the customer service piece, which I did not necessarily enjoy. So I guess that was something that drew me to partnering. I think that's something anyone who gets into a partnership, just figure out what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what you actually want to handle in the business and what you don't, and see if for us it worked out well that Shawn was willing to handle customer service, and he finds he actually enjoys doing the customer service. So that's been working really well for us. So I can keep focusing on the growth aspects that I enjoy, while he handles more of the day-to-day. So I guess that's the way we set it up, at least. So,
Great. So you have anything to add to that, Shawn?
Yeah, I was just going to say that the way Zach ended that off is really the simplest way of saying I kind of handle the traditional day-to-day operations. I mean, putting in the orders, phone calls coming in, emails coming in, things like that. Zach has always been growth mode, growth focused. And that started off with just starting to teach me to learn the ropes of how this operation works. Then over time, I've started to get into more of the growth focus. I mean, down the road, I think we'll both be pretty evenly split in that. And as of right now, I'm just kind of more day to day, and every day that goes by, I get more and more involved in the growth as we see higher and higher goals for ourselves.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part, kind of, I guess, just growing the business. So eventually we're going to get to a point, I think, with this store that we might even, build out a team, so maybe someone else will be handling customer service in, a few months. Just like we said, leveraging, our strengths and, as we grow, kind of adjusting things and adjusting our team, I guess. So.
Yeah, nice. So if what it sounds like is, Zach, you handle probably, it sounds like some of the site design, maybe the pay traffic, the traffic strategies, things like that. And Shawn, it sounds like you handle the customer service, maybe the product knowledge. You came up with the idea, so maybe you had a background in it. Is that kind of what I'm hearing, kind of reading between the lines?
Yeah, exactly. So I handle all the original supplier approvals, and we kind of work together, I guess, to design the website, but just I just from building my first store, I had a little bit of knowledge of some back end, coding issues that I figured we would run into. So I was able to help with that. And then, I guess Shawn helps with actually uploading the products and customer service, the day to day. And, I keep always trying to focus on our marketing strategies and ways we can, grow out our advertising channels and things like that. So.
Yeah, I think just something to add there. I think it's a really nice split. So the way that Zach is really focused on growth and the big picture at all times has really led us to build out a nice team here. I've always been starting off as the one to roll up my sleeves and do the dirty work, if you will, with the uploading products, answering the phone calls, answering the emails, sending in the orders, things that they are vanilla in a way, but you got to learn the ropes and be able to start out in the business somewhere. And that's allowed me to see Zach's strategies and kind of transitioning over time into splitting it up that way. But I think if it is a new partnership, that's a great way to structure it. Have somebody handling a lot of the day-to-day, which is what we have it set up as, and then have somebody really having the brainstorming big picture mind to piece everything together.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, some people will partner up and some people will kind of go at it alone. We provide a complete blueprint, as you're aware. So, it's just takes a little bit more work, I guess, on the front end before you automate things. So, and we could talk about that in just a moment, but I'm kind of curious to dial in a little bit more to some of the challenges, I guess, if you could walk us through that, Zach, and then, the challenges early on, and then the challenges kind of getting this scaled and then getting y'all together on partnering together. What did that really look like? What were some things that kind of popped up along the way that, weren't expected, in other words?
Yeah. So I really just learned a lot from my first store. I would consider, I'm still running it, but it's nowhere near the level of this store that we're working on right now. So I guess the biggest thing with that store, obviously niche selection is so huge. And I decided to ignore what Anton was saying in the course and what other people were saying, and I went into a furniture niche. And so the biggest thing on that, people are not passionate about furniture, and also when they come to your store, and it's likely that they're just going to buy once and then they won't be coming back to you. And it's also hard. Anton also talks about lead value optimization in the course. It's extremely hard to make more off of your customers in a furniture niche. So what we're finding in this niche, people are more passionate about this niche, or these products, and we're able to upsell them on different things. So one thing that I recommend people to look into, there's a app called Boost Sales. So after a customer clicks on the add to cart button, it shows them a little pop-up. Basically, you can decide what products that you can recommend to pair with the product that they added to their cart, which has increased our average order value. Definitely, I would say 10 to 20%. So that's just one little thing. But just in general, you can throw different offers in your email funnels after purchase too, which is a lot easier to do when someone's actually passionate about the product. So that was one mistake that I made in my first store, and it's something that's really helped us in this store, I guess, get to where we are now. So.
Just to have that niche, I guess, in place that people were passionate about and hopefully excited about. So I've seen your store, and I could see how that would be something that a lot of people are passionate about, because I guess there's a lot of media and stuff like that behind it. So and there is competition behind it too. There's other people doing. A lot of people were scared about having like similar stores to other people. And not to say that, it's completely the same or completely different. It's probably somewhere in there in between. Yeah. But how did you handle like competition with your first store versus like your new store? Did the strategy change at all, or did you? What do you see there? Like, what can you?
great point to touch on. So
Yeah.
one mistake that as far as niche selection goes, whenever I'm deciding on what niche I should get into now, I immediately go to Google Shopping. This is our primary traffic source. So right now when I go to my bad niche, my furniture niche, I see tons of different competitors, and I also see prices all over the place, which means suppliers aren't enforcing MAP. So I recommend this is a key takeaway for everyone. When you're thinking about what niche you're going to go into, I would go straight to Google Shopping, see how many competitors, online resellers are in there, and then also look at the price point. So right now we're kind of in our niche. We only have two to three maybe competitors, and all of our suppliers are enforcing MAP. So that was one key thing that aside from people being passionate about it, that's another thing we definitely recommend everyone look for before they get in their niche. So
good to keep in mind now, for sure. And Michael Coughlin, I don't know if you ever spoke with him, but he's one of the DSO. Yeah, he's one of the DSO coaches.
But I saw that video that he was.
Yeah, you saw the video. Okay, good. Yeah, we might have to link it below this video somewhere when if you're watching the replay or catching this that's not live. So look for that video. It's going to build upon what Zach is talking about, so you can kind of get a visual for it. So let's see. All right, we have a few questions coming in. Just kind of want to kind of keep up with them. So let's see. So B Johnson is stating, or asking, what's a seller rating you usually go for on AliExpress? So we don't recommend AliExpress, just FYI. Seller rating, so there's not going to be necessarily a seller rating. We do show you how to find good suppliers in the course. There are going to be different levels, bronze, silver, and gold. So I don't know if you're a member of the course, but we do go through that in the course, and we recommend building direct relationships with suppliers. Yeah.
I'd like to add on that just for a second, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So I see a lot of people using AliExpress or Oblo. I've never even dug into that, but I highly recommend against it because if you're trying to get approved by gold tier suppliers, those are the guys who are driving most of our sales right now. And we're also looking to add on new gold suppliers right now. They will not approve you if you have AliExpress or just like junk products on your site. Even bronze tiered suppliers, or even some silver suppliers that we would consider silver. Anton talks about gold, silver, bronze suppliers in the course, but if you're trying to reach out to a gold supplier and they just, a lot of times they just don't want their product next to these lower tiered suppliers or bad products. So always keep that in mind. Brand image is very important. So I definitely would agree with you. Do not recommend AliExpress or Oblo. I know it's an easy thing to just do and get up and running, but I have not had success with it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, just something to add there too, to Zach's point, just to add on that. Like he was saying, our brand image has really been a top priority for us. I personally have been kind of thinking sales at times, and he's really been good about holding me back, really thinking about all the details of our brand image and having the impact that could result from trying to sell at all possible. This definitely can slow you down at first. Long term, if you're really trying to grow a long-term business, that is absolutely key to have your brand image be above the priority of just trying to sell everything you can today.
Good point. And just to kind of piggyback on that too, I'm out of curiosity, you came up with a niche idea. So from my understanding, right, Shawn, is that correct? You came up with that? Yeah. So you brought that to Zach. So how did you help him in researching the suppliers and help with the process of securing suppliers?
Yeah, so we kind of tag team a lot of the research process. Zach is the one that actually goes through and calls the supplier and locks up those deals. But just to let me learn the ways and how everything operates, typically I did a fair amount of the research. Like you said, we did a lot of Google shopping research, just seeing how many competitors are out there, seeing whether they do have MAP, what price points they're at, really trying to follow a lot of what Anton teaches in the course, the typical price points, things like that he would teach. So I did a lot of that research, and then we kind of tag team on various ideas, and Zach went ahead and called those suppliers once we got together and rated them towards the bronze, silver, or gold tier.
Yeah, and just another thing to add, a lot of people think that adding more suppliers will lead to more sales, which a lot of times is the case, but we're getting majority of our sales, I would say 90%, from 3 or 4 suppliers. So really, I mean, just focus on keeping your brand image in place and getting those, gold suppliers if you can. That leads. It's a lot easier to have success that way.
And it sounds like focusing on those gold suppliers and the product quality is something that you definitely focus on as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Good. So let's see what else we have going on. Brian. Let's see. Zach mentioned about brainstorming niche idea. Any advice on selecting a niche? So I think you kind of covered that. Was there anything a little bit, but is there anything else you'd want to add to that? Some of the things we mentioned already.
Yeah, I mean, I took a lot from. I think Anton taught this in his course as well, where just make notes of everything in your life. You'd be surprised how many products are actually out there. Obviously, like Zach said, and like this is the reason Anton recommends against it, because this leads to having such a high level of competitiveness. The first thing somebody thinks about with Anton's $200 to $1,000 price point being perfect is furniture. You'd be surprised how many products are really out there. Just see something and write it down. Once you learn to look out for it, you'd really be surprised how much you actually see that's out there.
Yeah. If you look around your
point, just start doing the Google shopping research and things like that. But just get that bulk list written out. Just really write down all your ideas, and then do the research and do the work from there, and you'll come up with something.
Yeah, a lot of people just want to look around their house right away and pick something that they see in their house, and those products don't work. Everyone thinks of that. If it's in half the people's houses, I mean, it's going to be sold by one of the big dogs. So you don't want to compete with those guys, and so yeah, that's definitely big.
Good point. Yeah, and you definitely, there's I've seen some stores where, and I think that's true in a lot of ways. I've seen some stores, a lot of stores in 10K challenge, and from our members, and there's a lot of competitive stores, a lot of competitive products, but you got to be creative. You got to approach it with a different angle or a different mindset than your competitors. So you got to approach it from those angles as well.
Yeah.
So let's see what else we have. Alejandro is saying hello. What is this live stream? Well, we're talking about drop shipping, and we're talking to the people who won the 10K challenge. They were partnered up. It's Zach and Shawn. So for those who are joining us, it's Zach and Shawn. We're talking about drop shipping and sharing some best practices. So that's what we're doing. And then let's see what else we have. So yeah, I mean, that's a good question. So I mean, it's so I hope Brian is going on to ask. At very first, Zach said their store wasn't that big. What kind of tweaks did you implement to bring the store up to 200K? I think I know someone, but
so that was my previous store that wasn't doing well in the niche. The big change happened when I started a new store. I learned from my mistakes, and so that was, I guess, the biggest thing. So I don't know if there's much more I would add.
Yeah, is there anything in terms of like traffic techniques? Anything you'd want to discuss in terms of to kind of build on that a little bit further? I mean, obviously you found a good niche, a passion niche.
Yeah.
Working together on that niche and kind of separating duties. what have you identified in terms of like running traffic or growth
Definitely.
that has helped you get to that
Yeah. So
270 and beyond point?
yeah. So to
270K.
tie into that point we made about focusing on the gold suppliers, if you get approved by gold suppliers, customers are searching for their product. So one I guess market research piece that I try to do now is I think it's Google Trends. I go to Google Trends, I type in the brand name and product type, and see kind of what the search volume is, and that kind of helps me prioritize what's gold level supplier potentially. If there's a lot of search volume. And I guess with that, a lot of people try to overcomplicate things, and I just see people on the forums saying, "Oh, should I get on Facebook? Should I get on Instagram? Should I?" No, like Anton talks about this. Focus on Google AdWords first. That is for us. I would say we get 75% of our traffic from our Google shopping campaigns. Like we're just go do the basics and do it well, and that will lead to success. We get another maybe 15% of our traffic from search text ads, and we're also on Bing. I'd also recommend people to check out. It's called Retarget app. It's a Shopify app. It runs our Facebook and Instagram retargeting campaigns. It's really easy to set up. So basically you can, type in a little message, just saying, get your product name now. It'll pop in the product name automatically for you. And then anyone who's come to your store, if they're searching around on Facebook or Instagram, they'll see your ad. And those have been converting really well for us. But anyway,
nice.
The main point I'm trying to say, it's really important to be an expert in AdWords. So we got very detailed with our campaigns. We have separate campaigns by brand. And then we're also dividing up our ad groups. This might be over some people's heads, so I apologize.
Oh, no, hey, no, it's good.
If you have any questions, invest in coaching. These guys can help you, implement some of these things. But we get very specific. We have campaigns by brand, and then divide up our ad groups based on the quality of the search terms. So we're paying more for branded and product type search terms, and then we slowly kind of decrease our bids in the ad groups as the quality of the search term goes down. That makes sense on a high level. Like I said, invest in coaching if you guys have any more questions. But that's dropped our average cost per click from about 40 cents down to 12 to 15 cents. So that's, and with about the same amount of traffic, if not more. So definitely recommend that. Everyone in this business, I think it's extremely important to be a Google Ads expert. And that's something you can say when you have supplier calls and you're trying to get approved by suppliers. We are Google marketing experts. And then you can kind of walk into some of the more details, and they're impressed by that. So I think that's a core thing for anyone that's in this business, I guess.
Yeah, no, and I've seen your traffic numbers. I think it was like, I could be misquoting it, but
500 a day about.
Yeah. And the last time I checked, it was like, I think it was closing in on like 50K like visitors over the 4 months. Yeah, something. It was ridiculous, and it was great. And you had the traffic dialed. Google Shopping.
That's the primary one. Like, you don't need to complicate things a lot of the time.
Yeah, no, and I think a lot of people listening to this or will listen to the replay tend to overcomplicate things and not know how simple things can be, just because of what they maybe experienced before.
So many articles out there, so many people tossing new ideas around. It's easy to get distracted, and we've learned that focusing on the basics and making Google our bread and butter, that's worked well for us. And eventually, now we're looking into other strategies. Now that we've become experts at Google, now we're looking into other traffic strategies. But until you're at that point, I just focus on one thing. Otherwise, you get overwhelmed.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And out of curiosity, so I know you started, running campaigns. You learned a lot over these last 4 months. If you can kind of zero in on a couple of things, I know, a lot of people won't necessarily talk about like ad copy or talk about setting their competition in a way where, hey, this is what I've done to correct course or do better. What have you seen out there, without, of course, going into niche, but what have you seen out there and you like, hey, I could do this better. I can try this. Can you talk a little bit about the ad copy or how the ads have changed over those last 4 months to convert to more sales? What that might look like?
Yeah. Shawn, do you want to talk about our product packages, or I can talk about it?
Yeah, so one thing that has really helped, like Zach was mentioning, we have a lot of tiered branded and generic campaigns and have really tried to master that in order to get the cost per click down. One aspect that has really helped us to dramatically drop our cost per click is bundle packages. Having some sort of bundle package, you can take other products, but just bundling them together, nobody else on the market can offer that. And by having something that's an attractive bundle that really does bring value to your customers, you don't have any competition on the bidding. We have some campaigns where we're paying 1 cent per click, and it's still bringing significant traffic to the site just because nobody has that bundle out there. If you're able to form some sort of bundle, however possible, you definitely have to make sure it makes sense, make sure that it does bring tremendous value to the customer. But that's really where the gold mine can be.
Just to extend on that and explain it a little bit more. So basically, we're taking one popular product from one brand and pairing it with another popular product from another brand. So we reached out to these suppliers. It just made sense for those customers were, buying these products together anyway. But it just made more sense for us to create it into, one actual product page. And we can say, this brand name product type, brand number 1, and brand number 2 package or something, So we're creating these custom bundle packages that none of our competitors are offering. So in Google, like Shawn said, it's a low cost per click on those clicks because no one else is offering it. Also, has a high click-through rate. So that's something that Google takes into account in your quality score. So if you have a high click-through rate, they're gonna help you lower your cost per click. I guess basically that's the best way I can describe it. But we're getting a large percentage of our revenue and traffic from those bundle packages. So that's a game-changing, thing that we've done on this store.
No, that's definitely a good point, and I don't think anybody's really discussed that on these calls, these sessions. So that's good.
It's just about reaching out to those suppliers and seeing if they're up for it. A lot of times they are, because it's just a new way to make sales for them. So, like I said, it's just a good way to differentiate yourself as a drop shipper, which is sometimes hard to do. So
yeah, no, that's good. So if you can just give maybe 1 or 2 tidbits to build on that, because I'm out of curiosity, what does that really look like? So you were just marketing one product before, and then you bundled it together. So can you give an example without, of course, stating what your product is? What did that look like in terms of ad copy or look or feel, just so I can hopefully the audience could visualize kind of what that might look like.
So we were lucky enough that one of our suppliers had already had pictures of the 2 products working together, which helped us, of course. But if you don't have that, you could go to Canva. I don't know if people have heard of that, but basically you can create custom designs, basically where you could put a picture of one of the products next to picture of the other product, and you can just call it some sort of package or bundle package on your website. So that's how we approached it, I guess. It was these 2 things were commonly used together. So that's something just to look for. But
Good. No, it's good. So let's see what else is coming in. I think it's Joby. Hopefully I pronounced that right, but it's Joboy is asking, was your products B2B? No, they were B2C. Unless, do y'all do any B2B at all?
There's been
No.
a few one-offs, but primarily the vast majority is to the consumer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Down the road, potentially, but yeah, right now it's all B2C pretty much.
Yeah.
95.
Oh, go ahead.
95%.
Okay, good. If they want to buy, you won't say no, I'm sure.
Right.
So let's see. Sorry, let's see. So I hope Brian is asking, sorry for asking a lot of questions, but please allow me to piggyback from your success. Let's see. Are you using the DSL theme or a custom design theme? I know on the new one, you're not using the DSL theme. On the first one, I don't know if you are. If you could kind of let I guess our audience know kind of what your thoughts are behind it. You know, you don't have to give the names exactly, but kind of what you're thinking, your thoughts were behind it.
I don't know. I just somehow came across this theme somewhere, and I like just the look of the product page. So that was the biggest thing. I would recommend it, but I honestly, we're actually thinking of maybe potentially of switching out of them. But I don't think that's a key to our success. I'll just put it that way. So DSL theme, I mean, looks great. I mean, I was considering it definitely, but I don't think that's a key to our success. Maybe that would help us potentially if we move to something else. But so I don't have too much to add on that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Just to add a little bit to that, so we did have a theme originally that was different from the theme we're using now, and we love the homepage. We were able to make a very visually appealing homepage that looked fantastic, and we kind of took a step back and thought most of our traffic, most of our sales, they're coming from Google, from the shopping campaigns, so they're jumping right to our product page from Google, and we're thinking to ourselves, how many people are actually even seeing the homepage? So we really dug deep into the themes that are available. I would just say regarding the themes, just make sure you really fall in love with the product page. That's going to be the bread and butter. That's the basics. Like we said, just master the basics. You're going to convert if you have a good product page. The home page it can work. That's definitely something we'll consider down the road of changing, but that's really how you master the bread and butter and get those conversions up as best as you can.
That's a great point. I feel like people focus on the homepage way too much when they're designing their site. It really should be the product page. That was a very good point.
Yeah, no, that is a good point. And you know, our theme's high converting. We've gone off a lot of the same standards. The Shopify, I think one of the main Shopify themes. Yeah. So you know, what I'm going to do, I'm going to link it below. And well, go ahead.
Our theme is similar to the DSL theme.
It is similar in a lot of ways. You know, there's always like nuances, and some of the things that Zach mentioned, some of the tools and things like that, you can add tools to it to make it look and feel how you want it to. There's also, you can also customize the theme a little bit, which is not, you know, may be in your wheelhouse, may not. So, but we'll definitely link the theme underneath so you can take a look at it, our theme, and kind of see what it looks like and feels like. But you know, we talked a little bit about this before that, so I think this is a good segue into what we were talking about beforehand. Is you said you had, I guess, some issues, I guess, trying to scale into it. You've been Dropship Lifestyle member, I think, for almost 2 years, and you had some issues kind of designing some of your websites. It kind of took some time to scale. So if you could let us know a little bit, kind of expound upon that a little bit.
Honestly, the biggest thing for me was just my 9-to-5 job was it's an excuse, but it took a lot out of me. It was pretty demanding, I guess, job, and I was also commuting an hour there and back, which I'm sure a lot of people out there are struggling with right now. But I guess the biggest thing that just pulled me through that tough time and got me to where I am right now is just the mindset piece of it. There's a reason why that's module number 1. Mm-hmm. I was coming home and I was working until midnight and just chipping away and learning. You know, a lot of times you're probably going to fail on your first store, and that's okay. Just it's a part of the process. So, you know, just get going on your first store. Try to just learn from it. You might not have success right out of the gate, but just stick with it. You know, always just have the right mindset, and eventually, if you keep working at it and learning, then you'll get there. So I guess that was the biggest challenge for me. It was like I couldn't call a supplier as well as at my job, which was definitely holding me back. So that's a big part of the reason why I just left my job, so I could put the time in to scale things. So.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I know you mentioned before the call, you didn't when you did invest, there was no done for you package. But I mean, if there was one, could you see how it made it like shortcut the process, or
Definitely.
What's your thoughts on that?
Definitely. I spent way too much time designing my website and just in so many different things. I wish I would have invested in coaching or reached out to the DSL community sooner. Everything for the first year and a half, I was doing on my own, and it slowed up the process big time. Time is money. People need to realize that. Like, if someone can design a beautiful website for you in, I don't know what the timeline is, but a week or so, you could spend weeks or months on your own trying to figure things out. It can just fast track your success, and same goes for coaching and anything. So if you can get on a call with an expert and they can dig in your AdWords account and tell you what you need to do and learn from it, that's going to fast track your success. So that's one mistake that I made at the beginning that definitely hurt me, and took me a lot longer to eventually get to the point where we are right now. So don't be afraid to reach out for help. That's one thing that I would say.
All great points. So, and we, those listening, we definitely have a lot of support. We have our Facebook community, we have the forum. So you have those two areas. You can ask questions, get some almost instant feedback on your questions, or you can go there and search, and it'd be a good resource for, if you get stuck anywhere. The course also goes through all the steps and everything. So if you just follow the system, you can build your own store on Shopify. You might be able to figure out some of the things, but as Zach was alluding to or mentioning,
Right.
You can get a lot of help from the coaches. And if you get stuck or want some instant feedback from experience, then you have those resources as well.
Yeah. Sorry, one minor thing to just talk about. A lot of people I'm sure are hesitant because of the investment. You just have to realize that time is money as well. So that's just one food for thought, I guess.
Yeah, no, and it's perfect, because it sounds like, okay, so you got the course around 2 years ago. You said a year and a half you were kind of figuring things out. Well, 6 months ago, when you kind of were, it sounds like you were around the time you were talking to Shawn, you were starting to figure things out, and you figured out, hey, I need to kind of split myself in two, or I need to, it could be done faster, and you shortcutted the process by kind of raising your hand and saying, hey, if I do get help, then I can see that success, and that's a testament to that, making that decision. And we also, I mean, in 5.0, which you have access to, we've added outsourcing course, which once you get to a certain level, you figure things out on your own. It's definitely good to go through the whole process. Customer service is like, what Shawn is doing. It gives you that feedback and allows you to know what people coming into your business or want, so you can kind of figure out how to give them what they want. But then they have, uploaded products, pretty much the whole, design. If you want to hire someone to do a good design or tweak your site, you can find people to help you with that as well. But it's definitely good to go through a lot of the things yourself. That way you can speak to those areas of knowledge. So,
yeah, just to add one point to that too, something that popped in my head. Just backing up, my first point would be, if somebody is in a partnership with another person, and I would definitely recommend have whoever is uploading the products be the one that's in charge of customer service, because that has really helped me out with, especially the first few calls. Obviously, you get product questions, you're going to need to look some things up. But since I did have that primary knowledge just from uploading the products and doing that research ahead of time to put up our best product page, I was able to better serve those customers for the first few weeks. And then getting to my next point, the DSL 5.0, definitely we're looking to add some of that knowledge to what we're doing now, especially the outsourcing portion. We're still doing everything ourselves, but to that point as well, definitely start doing your own customer service. I've learned so much about what our customers want, what's driving them to come to our store to buy. I think that really is invaluable knowledge that you need to have before outsourcing. Definitely that is the long-term play, and it's something that we are looking to get into down the road, but it's been extremely helpful to have those one-on-one interactions with our customers and see what exactly they're looking for and adjust our strategies accordingly.
Yeah, we're doing that right now. That was kind of a part of the reason why we're meeting up today, is kind of to re-strategize our, long-term, I guess, strategies with the store. And it's a lot of it's based on what feedback we're getting from customers and what we think they want.
Nice. Is there anything specific you can touch upon that you're going to be implementing in your store short term?
It's just different ways we can build our product offering. So we started in one specific type of product types, and we're thinking about expanding to relevant product types, but just they're different, so we can cross-sell hopefully. So just building out our store, I guess, in that way. But it's based on customer feedback, I guess.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay. So let's see what else is coming in. I think B. Johnson joined maybe after we mentioned this, but just to make sure so you guys go over how to find good suppliers in the course. Yes, we do. There's different levels, and we cover all those things and the criteria that of what to look for and how to actually contact them with scripts and emails and things of that nature. So we do cover that well in the course. Let's see. JOBOY is asking for the average price range of the product. Sorry for asking this. They're laughing. I'm thinking of starting a second store, and my price range was about $5,000. He's laughing, or she. Let's see, and it's furniture, which I felt is kind of hard for a beginner. So we kind of talked about that a little bit, but I don't know if there's anything you want to touch upon further.
Just I guess
there.
Assess what you're willing to do. If you're willing to put in that extra customer service, I guess if you're selling a $5,000 product, you're gonna have to put in more customer service, like the course talks about. We have a good balance between making enough off of each sale and also making sure it's not too big of a burden as far as customer service goes. So just assess based on whatever, I guess, you feel you want out of your business, your lifestyle, I guess.
Got it.
So.
Yeah, no, let's see what else. The average price, I don't know if you want to mention that, the average price for your store, what's like the average order? It's up to y'all, but.
We have some products that are just around $150, and we have everything that goes up to, I think we have some packages that are close to $5,000. So, it's pretty across the board, but all of it still fits into, kind of the dropship lifestyle criteria. I know in the course they don't recommend going over $1,000, but Shawn's willing to put in that extra work in the customer service to make it happen. So,
nice.
Adding to that,
I think maybe in the beginning,
go
ahead.
We definitely do, like Zach said, we do get into the thousands of dollar range. Like he was saying, you just have to be willing to put in that extra work. A lot of those sales do happen over the phone. People aren't necessarily going to pull out their credit card for something that's more than $1,000. They want to talk to you, be able to trust you, see the value first. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. If you do want to interact with your customer more, maybe that is a good idea. You will get more feedback that way directly too. If you're more in the cheaper price point, down into the $100 to $200 range, it is going to be a lot more passive. That may be leaning more towards the lifestyle business, but you might not get as much feedback. So there's trade-offs to both, but it just depends on the way that you like to do business.
And another thing, just for the person who's thinking about getting into a $5,000 product niche, your product pages are going to have to be pretty amazing to convert. So you might want to work with their suppliers to get videos and people using the product, or something like that. So just you're going to definitely have to put in a lot of work to make sure those product pages are great. Aside from the extra customer service. So
good things to think about. And there's he doesn't necessarily, I mean, I don't, a couple years ago the criteria might have changed a little bit. Maybe it's because we would say like $5,000 products or $10,000, even 10,000 is out of the question. I know a lot of people do sell higher end products, and the thing is what you were saying. A lot of times it takes more customer service, more contacts, more visiting your website, and it's all part of the process. So I used to be in sales, and a lot of people, that buy anything, that have to make a buying decision, they'll look at things or talk to people, 5-7 times. They'll go to your website 5-7 times or more, maybe. It just depends on the buyer, their situation. So it's hard to know what that really looks like. Because some people are more impulsive than others, but an average, you can for a bigger purchase, people we'll probably shop you around a little bit more, to Shawn's point, get to trust you, want to trust you a little bit more, and put their toe in the water before they jump into the big side, the deep side of the pool. So so let's see what else we have. Of course, let's see. So Abeness, hopefully I'm pronouncing your handle right, but is the coaching included in the course? So we have various packages that include coaching. Definitely if you can make a webinar, and sometimes we'll have coaching included with those. So, but if there's anything outside or something that you want specifically, then you can comment below or reach out to us directly, and we'll see what we have for you. So let's see, to help you out. Let's see what else. Lydia, I think. Do you have funnels? Well, we show you how to set up a funnel anywhere, from sales to marketing to sales funnel. So hopefully that's what you're asking. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that in your funnels or anything
That's something we're working on right now. So like I said, we do have after purchase, we have that Boost Sales app, which helps, increase average order value. But we're working on, before the sale actually happens, people who haven't bought from us yet, we're working on building out, I guess, a value ladder. So how can we get them to just get introduced to us, I guess. So maybe it could be an ebook or free plus shipping, small type of offer to get them going into our sales funnel to eventually get them to hopefully buy one of our bigger ticket items. So we are working on that.
Oh, nice. Well, we'll have to put a link for one of our partners we worked with that helps, write ebooks and helps you become authority in your niche to leverage those assets to gain, put a know, like, and trust you, if you will. So we'll have to link that below somewhere as well. There's going to be a lot of links, so people, because there's a lot, we're talking about a lot of resources, but it'll make sense hopefully in the end. So to build on that further though, so you have people coming into your funnel. How does that look like in terms of lead value optimization? So how do you get them re-engaged? They buy something, they don't buy something. What does that really look like in terms of retargeting? I know you retarget them, but then hopefully you get an opt-in, and then you email your list. Is there any strategies that you would like to mention there?
That's what we're working on. That's our next level.
Okay.
So like I said before, we are really trying to focus on the basics, being really good at Google
Okay.
AdWords first. Now our next level, we're talking about our long-term strategy and what's next. That's the next level. So we're looking to build out our email lists, figure out what are the best ways to bring people down our funnel and et cetera. But yeah, like I said, the Boost Sales app, that's a great one to start with. And then just find a way. We have a pop-up, I guess, on our webpage for everyone that comes. Just think of just like creative ways to actually get them to sign up for your email list. So we offer 5% off their order and a $500 gift card to our store. So that's one way that it's been okay, where we get about I don't know, 4 or 5 signups a day, which isn't great considering the traffic we're getting. But people can brainstorm their different ways. It's important to just start building that email list. But
yeah, just to add to that, that's definitely one of our highest priorities right now is just testing different ways, as we do want to see a lot more email signups. We're paying for these clicks to get the traffic to our website. We want to get some sort of value, and if we get them into a funnel, we can squeeze every ounce of value that we possibly can from them. And it's just a matter of getting that email sign up. Just try different things.
Yeah.
Definitely not successful yet from us, but just something we're continuing to test and trying to perfect over time, I suppose.
One minor piece of success we've had, I guess we created basically kind of like a buyer's guide for a complex type of product that customers have a hard time wrapping their head around. So we walk through this buyer's guide that basically explains everything and makes it easier for the customer to understand the product. And then we don't offer this product. It kind of goes with the other products we offer on our website, but we have Amazon affiliate links where people can go and buy those on Amazon, and we collect a percentage. So it took me about 5 hours to set up that buyer's guide, just doing the research and putting in the Amazon affiliate links. And it's already made us, I think, $120 in commissions. So, that's a good bang for your buck as far as time goes. And, that's only going to keep growing. So that's one idea for people, because there's the benefit of the SEO. So if you create valuable content, that's, it's going to probably eventually get shared more, and it's going to help boost your SEO. But then also you can have the additional affiliate commissions as well. So that's one minor success we've had so far as that goes. But
okay, good. So it looks like Omar, we kind of touched upon this earlier, but if there's anything I want to add. Hey guys, I was wondering if I should get into a niche that isn't saturated but dominated by 3 companies. So my thought was, like I stated earlier, was there's a lot of people in the course, a lot of members that are entering into what a lot of people would feel like are saturated niches. But for like folks like yourself and different people, some of the winners of the top 5 of the 10K challenge were in saturated niches and otherwise. So for me, you got to find a different angle. You got to figure out more, what kind of value you can offer them above and beyond the other companies, what kind of support angles you can offer. You just got to offer more, or just figure out a different way to offer it. What is your take, Zach and Shawn, on that?
Yeah, something I would say, definitely one of Zach's strengths would be very detail oriented. And if you are going to go into an unsaturated niche like that, there's obviously less to choose from in terms of suppliers. So you really need to wow them up front. If you do reach out to them too soon and something may not be as perfected on your website, it's a lot harder to get a yes after a no than it is to just wait a little bit and really dial in your website, really perfect everything, every aspect of it, and then reach out to them. It's a lot easier to get that first yes that way, because that first impression is huge. Zach, you may be able to speak more since you do handle a lot of the supplier contacts, but that would be my advice for sure.
Yeah, I would say Anton talked about this yesterday in the Dropship Weekly episode. Just figuring out your unique value proposition. So what we noticed in our market that a lot of our competitors were focused on the just a different, slightly different price point and a different type of customer. So we have one main competitor that's kind of priced below us that are focused on slightly lower price product types, and then we have another bigger competitor who's focused on the higher price point. So we kind of fit ourselves nicely in the middle there. We have a nice I guess website name and a good kind of strategy that's different from our competitors. I think that's very important. So we're picking up the phone and calling suppliers. They love our strategy, I guess, and I think it's important to have a clear strategy on what you're trying to do, just in general, obviously, but also to get supplier approvals. They want to find new ways to make sales for their companies. So, yeah.
No, it's a good point, and you do have a great, thoughtful name. So you took I know there was a lot of thought that went into it. So
yeah, that was Shawn's too.
Oh, okay. Shawn's getting some points, a lot of points.
The creativity, I suppose.
Yeah. So good, Shawn. So you see that Shawn's adding a lot of value. So add a lot of value to each other. Let's see what else we have coming in. So Wyatt is saying, asking, let's see. I have suppliers that carry a wide range of products that seem too out of my niche. I choose, but my domain is wide ranging and doesn't specify exactly what I'm selling. It kind of goes along with, I think, what we're just talking about, but would you recommend a new site or just add them? For me, that's kind of tough. So we're just talking about, that's kind of the perfect way, kind of what we were talking about, but it's,
yeah.
And I think you posed this before we were talking about it, but hopefully with some of the things that we were just talking about, answer some of that. But I mean, for me, and I'm guessing y'all agree, maybe I don't, but like I'm thinking you would, is it would be good to definitely niche down and have a focused store and a name that's going to align with that store, kind of saying either what the product is or building that lifestyle or building that thoughtfulness from a different angle, So you got to get creative and you got to figure out what that might look like. It might be hard to try to, and I've seen stores where they're unfocused or they're kind of like all over the place, would have a lot of products that might work together, or there's not a lot of opportunity to bundle or some different things like that. So my guess is going to be a lot harder to brand those kind of stores or make those kind of stores work just because they're not focused. But is there anything else that you would want to add to that?
Yeah, I would say that definitely fits into the brand image. That's what I was thinking right before you said that. But it would tie into niching down. I think that would be the better choice at first. Obviously, everything's relative. But I would say to try and niche down and find that area where you can really dominate. You can always expand. But just to start, I would say try to dominate something that is a little more niche specific would be my recommendation.
Yeah. So for us right now, we're trying to dominate in this specific type of product and these bundle packages, and from there, if we want to build it out and be less specific, I guess we just want to make sure we're dominating that specific product type before we move on and try to build out our store. I don't think it's a good idea to start straight up with all these different product types, because you don't have a unique, value proposition, I guess, that way. So kind of like we were just talking about. So
yeah, and when people go there, they don't really understand. Confused mind, they say a confused mind never buys or rarely buys. It's just one of those things. People go to those unfocused stores. It's I mean, the people are used to seeing like Amazon or Walmart and different big vendors. But when they go to other stores, they're already used to navigating those other stores. So when they go to yours, and if it's not the same or similar, it just, it might confuse a lot of people. Whereas if you have, more of a support structure like Shawn is for Zach and vice versa, y'all support each other in different ways. You have a support structure that is working on the branding, working on providing that support, provide that knowledge that you can give to the people coming into your funnel.
Yeah.
And that allows them to trust you a little bit faster, and it allows you to look more like the expert. So
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that just ties into the business model as a whole and what DSL is teaching. If Walmart and Amazon could sell all this profitably, they'd be doing it. There's a reason that this model can work, and it's because you have that niche specific brand image, and you can really go in to dominate that niche. If you try to get too broad, you're just going to be another Walmart, and I can almost guarantee it will not work. You really have to try to develop a brand based on one specific product type and really try to engage that entire market.
Yeah.
That's good. So well, I guess as we're wrapping things up, it goes along with what you were just saying. But for people that are looking at this opportunity, what would you tell them that they're looking at drop shipping, they're looking at e-commerce, maybe Shopify? What would you say to them?
Follow the course. Really just truly follow the course. Don't try to get fancy like I did and get into furniture because I thought I was smarter than the course. So I guess that would be number one. And I guess don't spend too much time. I guess I know we were talking about how important niche selection is, but if you're just starting up your first store, don't worry about just getting started. You're going to learn a lot from even failing. I learned a ton from failing. So if you're on your first store, get started after you take the course. Follow the course to a T, get started, and then from there, then you can start, developing bigger strategies like we're working on to get to the next level. And also just having the right mindset for me. If I didn't have the right mindset, I probably would have quit right after my first failed store. So just believe in the process, believe in, this model that Anton's teaching, and you stick with it and engage with the community, invest in coaching, and you're going to get there eventually. So that would be my piece of advice.
Yeah. Just to add on that mindset piece too, you just have to go for it. Get the course. The course is unbelievable. I started this out, just like I said, as an extra source of income, and my life has completely changed in the last 4 months or so. Just go for it. Put in that extra work. I'm not going to lie, it's been a grind. I've put in a lot of nights, a lot of weekends, but it is life changing if you put in that work and just believe in the process.
Yeah, it's not a get rich quick scheme like we talk about. Shawn and I have taken tons of action. We have worked our butts off, but so you got to put in the work, but it's 100% worth it. In the end. So.
Great. I couldn't have said it better myself. So thank you, gentlemen. That was great. There's one last thing coming in. Warfield. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name properly. How do I register for the course? So I'm going to go ahead and link it below. You can take a look at the different options. If you have any questions, let us know. And also, we do have a mini course as well. So hopefully you know enough about our what we do here, but we have a free mini course, and I advise that you go through it and see if this opportunity is right for you, if this is something that you want to do. And if you decide to do it, then like they've said and like other people have said, if you follow the course, if you have the mindset to see things through, follow the course, follow the steps, leverage your resources when you get unstuck, then there's a good chance you'll be successful like them or be successful in another way. And along the way, you'll gain a lot of skills that maybe you didn't have before. So they did all the mini courses. Okay, so I'll link it below and let us know if there's anything you need. So any final thoughts? Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we covered most of what we wanted to cover. So. Yeah, I want to thank you for having us on. It's a pleasure. So hopefully we're able to help the listeners.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming aboard, and you know, I know that with hopefully with winning the 10K challenge and getting that 5K in ad spend and everything like
Yeah.
that,
I'm really excited to,
it's definitely going to help get you that next level. So maybe we'll do like a part 2
yeah,
call and kind of follow up and see how things are going
yeah. I really
and
wanted
see
to
what
thank
you
you
learned.
guys for putting obviously the course together, but also this competition that definitely motivated us, and we're going to take full advantage of of the contest. So yeah, I mean, just thank you guys, and really thankful for the dropship community. So
Great. Well, we're thankful for you too. So, just keep tabs on everything you do with, with the money if you don't mind. And I'd love to hear more about it. And I know the
yeah,
community is going to be watching with interest. So,
yeah,
thanks for that. So,
yeah,
thanks, gentlemen, for your time for joining us. And for those listening, again, we're going to have a bunch of links underneath. There's going to be links in the mini course, to the actual course, the tools that Zach mentioned, and maybe some other things. So there's a lot to keep in mind, but not to try to overwhelm you. Again, the first thing you should do is go through the mini course and see if this is right for you, maybe some of the videos. And if you have any questions, just reach out to us, and we'll see what makes sense. So also, yeah, go ahead, and if you got any value out of this, you stay to the end. Make sure you like it, you share it with someone you think is going to get some value out of it, and make sure you subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed, so you can get this content as we release it. So again, thank you, gentlemen, and have a good day.
yeah.
We'll talk soon.
Thanks.